The massive viewing window of the UES Dawnbreaker stretched across the bridge like a canvas of infinite stars, each point of light a silent witness to humanity's latest achievement in space warfare. Commander Sarah Chen stood with her hands clasped behind her back, her reflection ghosting against the reinforced transparent alloy as she studied the experimental vessel's sleek lines cutting through space. The Dawnbreaker represented everything humanity had learned about combat in the void, a perfect fusion of human intuition and artificial intelligence, wrapped in a hull of quantum-responsive materials that could adapt to enemy weapons in real time. At least, that's what the engineers had promised. No one had actually fired a shot at it yet. Status report, Chen called out, her voice carrying the weight of command despite her relative youth. At 35, she was the youngest commander ever given control of an experimental vessel, a fact that hadn't endeared her to the Admiralty. Lieutenant Marcus Rodriguez's fingers danced across his holographic interface at the tactical station. All systems nominal, Commander. The quantum matrix is maintaining stability at 98%. Better than the simulations predicted. Chen nodded, allowing herself a small smile. The Dawnbreaker had been her home for 3 months now, running endless drills and systems checks in the outer reaches of settled space. Today was supposed to be another routine patrol, checking on the research stations scattered throughout the Arcturus sector. The calm shattered as Officer Kai Wong's voice cut through the bridge's ambient hum. Commander. Emergency distress signal from Research Station Epsilon 7. It's just gone silent. Chen's muscles tensed. Epsilon 7 was one of humanity's most advanced research facilities, working on breakthrough propulsion technologies. Show me. The main display flickered to life, showing the station's last transmitted data. Chen's blood ran cold as she watched the footage. Massive ships of unknown design, their hulls seeming to bend light around them, had appeared from nowhere. The station's defenses hadn't even had time to activate before strange energy patterns had begun cutting through its outer sections. Plot a course, maximum speed, Chen ordered, her mind already racing through combat scenarios. Alert medical to prepare for casualties. Tactical, I want full spectrum analysis of those energy weapons as soon as we're in range. As the Dawnbreaker's experimental engines powered up, pushing the ship to speeds that would have torn apart conventional vessels, Chen felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders. They were the only military vessel within range, and their untested systems were about to face their first real combat situation. Multiple contacts appearing on long-range sensors, Rodriguez reported, his voice tense. Configuration matches the ships that attacked Epsilon 7. They're not like anything in our database, Commander. Chen watched as the tactical display filled with threat indicators. The alien vessels moved with an organic fluidity that defied conventional space combat doctrine, their formations shifting like schools of predatory fish. Deploy quantum sensors, she ordered. If these visitors want to test humanity's latest achievement in warfare, let's show them exactly what we're capable of. The Dawnbreaker's revolutionary systems came online one by one, each harmonic frequency finding its place in the ship's defensive symphony. As they approached the devastation around Epsilon 7, Chen realized this wasn't just a test of their experimental technology, it was humanity's first contact with a species that had chosen violence over diplomacy. And the Dawnbreaker would have to prove that humanity's experimental edge was sharp enough to draw first blood. The alien ships moved like liquid metal through space, their formations rippling with deadly precision as they turned to face the Dawnbreaker. Commander Chen watched the tactical display with growing concern as more enemy vessels emerged from the debris field of Epsilon 7. Quantum analysis complete, Rodriguez reported, his voice tight with tension. Their hull composition is shifting, Commander. It's like they're constantly reconfiguring their molecular structure. Chen's mind raced through the implications. The Dawnbreaker's adaptive systems were groundbreaking, but these aliens had seemingly mastered similar technology long ago. Status of the station survivors. Detecting multiple life pods in the outer debris field, Officer Wong announced. 23 signals, no, 24. They're running silent, minimal power signatures. They're hiding, Chen realized. These aliens hunt by tracking energy emissions. She turned to her crew, seeing the same determination reflected in their eyes. We're going to give them something to hunt. Divert all non-essential power to the quantum matrix. The Dawnbreaker's experimental systems hummed to life, its hull beginning to shimmer with barely contained energy. The alien fleet responded immediately, their ships breaking formation to encircle the human vessel. They're taking the bait, Rodriguez confirmed. Multiple targeting locks detected. Their weapons are charging. Chen allowed herself a grim smile. Perfect. Execute Operation Lighthouse. The Dawnbreaker's quantum matrix suddenly pulsed, sending out waves of energy that matched the aliens' scanning frequencies. The enemy ships' formations wavered as their sensors were overwhelmed by the sudden flood of data. Begin rescue operations, Chen ordered. Use the confusion to get our shuttles to those life pods. And Rodriguez, show them why we call this ship the Dawnbreaker. The experimental vessel's weapon systems came online, each one specifically tuned to frequencies identified in the quantum analysis. As the alien ships struggled to reorganize, the Dawnbreaker struck with surgical precision. The first volley caught 3 enemy vessels completely off guard. Their adaptive hulls tried to compensate, but the Dawnbreaker's weapons changed frequency with each shot, preventing the aliens from establishing an effective defense. Rescue shuttles away, Wong reported. First group of survivors secured. But the aliens were learning, their ships beginning to mimic the Dawnbreaker's energy signature. One of them got close enough to land a hit, and the bridge crew felt the impact despite their inertial dampeners. Hull integrity at 87%, Rodriguez called out. Their weapons are evolving, Commander. They're learning our patterns faster than predicted. Chen watched as the alien fleet executed a series of impossible maneuvers, their ships flowing around the Dawnbreaker's defensive fire like water around rocks. Time to show them something new. Initiate quantum cascade. The experimental ship's systems responded instantly, its hull beginning to pulse with waves of shifting energy. Each wave carried a different frequency, a different pattern, overwhelming the aliens' adaptive capabilities. 16 survivors secured, Wong announced. 7 more pods to go. The battle had become a deadly dance, with the Dawnbreaker at its center. Every time the aliens adapted to one strategy, Chen ordered a new combination of quantum frequencies, keeping them off balance just long enough for another rescue shuttle to slip through. But the cost was mounting. Multiple hits had gotten through their defenses, and the experimental systems were being pushed far beyond their tested limits. Commander, Rodriguez's voice carried a note of warning. The quantum matrix is showing signs of instability. We can't maintain this level of output much longer. Chen studied the tactical display, noting how the alien ships had begun to coordinate their attacks more effectively. They were learning, adapting, becoming more dangerous with each passing moment. Last rescue shuttle is away, Wong reported. All survivors accounted for. Chen nodded, her decision made. Plot a course through their formation. We're going to show these hunters what happens when they corner their prey. The Dawnbreaker's engines flared to life, pushing the experimental ship straight toward the heart of the alien fleet. Its quantum matrix screamed in protest as Chen ordered every system to maximum output. What followed would later be described in fleet records as the Arcturus Light Show, a desperate gambit that proved humanity's experimental technology could stand toe-to-toe with an advanced alien threat. The Dawnbreaker became a star of pure energy, its quantum systems cascading in ways its designers had never imagined possible. The alien fleet's adaptive hulls tried to compensate, but the sheer variety and intensity of the energy patterns overwhelmed their defenses. When the light faded, the surviving alien ships were retreating, their once perfect formations now ragged and broken. The Dawnbreaker hung in space, its systems strained to their limits but still functional. Damage report, Chen ordered, her voice hoarse. The quantum matrix is stable, barely, Rodriguez replied. But we've learned more about its capabilities in the last hour than in 3 months of testing. Chen looked out at the debris field that had once been Epsilon 7, now mixed with the shattered remains of alien vessels. Send all combat data to Fleet Command. They need to know what we're up against. The Dawnbreaker had survived its trial by fire, but Chen knew this was only the beginning. The aliens would be back, and next time, they would be ready for humanity's experimental edge. But humanity would be ready too, and the Dawnbreaker would lead the way. The survivors from Epsilon 7 huddled in the Dawnbreaker's medical bay, their faces haunted by what they'd witnessed. Commander Chen stood before Dr. Elena Patel, the research station's lead quantum physicist, who clutched a data crystal in her trembling hands. They weren't just attacking, Patel explained, her voice barely above a whisper. They were scanning. Every weapon burst was calibrated to analyze our technology. The station wasn't their target, our research was. Chen felt a chill run down her spine. The Dawnbreaker's bridge crew had gathered for this debriefing, and she could see the same realization dawning in their eyes. What exactly were you working on at Epsilon 7? Quantum entanglement on a massive scale, Patel replied. We discovered a way to create synchronized fields that could potentially revolutionize faster-than-light travel. But these aliens, they've mastered it. Their ships don't just communicate, they exist in a state of quantum harmony. Rodriguez leaned forward at his station. That's how they coordinate so perfectly. They're all connected. More than connected, Patel corrected. They're a single entity split across multiple vessels. That's why they adapted so quickly to our defenses. What one ship learns, they all learn. Chen's mind raced with the implications. The Dawnbreaker's quantum matrix had been designed to adapt and evolve, but it was still bound by conventional physics. Or was it? Dr. Patel, Chen said slowly, could we use your research to modify our quantum matrix? Not just to defend against their weapons, but to actually interfere with their network. The physicist's eyes widened. It's possible, but risky. We'd have to deliberately destabilize our own quantum field to create a disruption pattern that matches their frequency. One miscalculation and we could tear the ship apart. Better than letting them tear apart another research station, Chen decided. How long do you need? Before Patel could answer, alarms blared throughout the ship. Officer Wong's hands flew across his console. Multiple contacts emerging from FTL. Same signatures as before, but different configurations. They're evolving, Commander. The tactical display filled with new threat indicators. The alien ships had returned, but their forms had changed. Gone were the sleek, fluid shapes. These vessels bristled with crystalline structures that pulsed with otherworldly energy. They've adapted their entire fleet based on their encounter with us, Rodriguez reported grimly. Our previous tactics won't work. Chen turned to Patel. Doctor, we're out of time. Can you make the modifications while we keep them busy? Patel nodded, clutching her data crystal tighter. I'll need direct access to the quantum core. And Commander, we'll only get one shot at this. Lieutenant Rodriguez, escort Dr. Patel to engineering. Officer Wong, plot an evasive course that keeps us just at the edge of their weapons range. We need to buy time. The Dawnbreaker's engines hummed to life as the ship began a complex series of maneuvers. The alien fleet pursued, but more cautiously now, probing for weaknesses with precise bursts of energy. They're not trying to destroy us, Chen realized aloud. They want to capture the ship. They want our quantum matrix technology. Minutes stretched into hours as the Dawnbreaker played a deadly game of cat and mouse. Chen pushed the ship's conventional systems to their limits, using every trick in the book to stay just ahead of the alien weapons. Finally, Patel's voice crackled over the calm, modifications complete, Commander. But you should know, this will fundamentally alter the quantum matrix. There's no going back. Understood, Chen replied. All hands, brace for quantum destabilization. Execute Ghost Protocol on my mark. The alien fleet had formed a perfect sphere around the Dawn Breaker, their crystalline weapons charging for a synchronized strike that would overwhelm any conventional defense. Chen took a deep breath. Mark. The Dawn Breaker's quantum matrix screamed as it tore itself apart, only to rebuild itself in a configuration that defied the laws of physics. The ship's hull became transparent, then solid, then seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously. The effect on the alien fleet was immediate and catastrophic. Their perfect quantum harmony shattered as the Dawn Breaker's destabilized field infected their network. Ships collided as their synchronized movements fell into chaos. Weapons fired randomly, striking their own vessels. It's working. Rodriguez exclaimed. Their quantum network is collapsing. But the victory was bittersweet. Warning lights flashed across every console as the Dawn Breaker's systems struggled to contain the cascading quantum reactions. Hull integrity failing, Wong reported. The quantum field is breaking down. Chen watched as reality itself seemed to bend around her ship. They had beaten the aliens at their own game, but the price might be the Dawn Breaker itself. Then, through the quantum chaos, she saw something that changed everything, a pattern in the aliens' desperate attempts to restore their network, a weakness that no one had predicted. And she knew exactly how to exploit it. The Dawn Breaker drifted through the debris field of the shattered alien fleet, its quantum matrix pulsing with unstable energy. Commander Chen stared at the strange patterns dancing across her tactical display, echoes of the aliens' fractured network that still lingered in space. Dr. Patel, Chen called over the comm, are you seeing this? Yes, the physicist's voice was filled with wonder. The quantum echoes, they're not random. They're carrying information. Massive amounts of it. Rodriguez's console suddenly lit up with new data. Commander, I'm detecting a signal within the quantum noise. It's transmitting on all frequencies, but it wasn't meant for us to find. Put it through, Chen ordered. The bridge speakers crackled with a sound that made everyone's spine tingle, not quite language, not quite music, but something in between. Dr. Patel rushed onto the bridge, her eyes wide as she worked to decode the patterns. It's their history, she whispered. The quantum echoes are carrying their entire civilization's memory. These aliens, they're not just connected. They're refugees. The data streams coalesced into images on the main viewer, scenes from a dying world, a civilization that had evolved beyond physical form, preserving themselves as quantum consciousness spread across multiple vessels. They hadn't attacked Epsilon 7 out of malice, but desperate need. They were looking for a way home, Chen realized. Our quantum research, they thought we might have the key to restoring their original form. Commander, Wong interrupted, long-range sensors are detecting more quantum signatures. Hundreds of them, approaching from multiple vectors. The rest of their fleet is coming. Chen felt the weight of command bearing down harder than ever. The Dawn Breaker had struck a blow against the alien vanguard, but they had only seen a fraction of their true numbers. And now she understood why they fought with such coordination, they literally couldn't exist any other way. Dr. Patel, could we use the Ghost Protocol to communicate with them? Help them understand we're not their enemy? The physicist shook her head. The protocol was designed to disrupt their network. Trying to join it would be like trying to speak by screaming. We'd only cause more damage. But there might be another way, Rodriguez interjected. The quantum matrix is still learning, adapting to their patterns. If we could find the right frequency. A violent shudder ran through the ship as the quantum matrix absorbed another wave of alien data. Warning lights flashed across every console. Hull stress increasing, Wong reported. The matrix can't handle much more of this quantum interference. Chen made her decision. Dr. Patel, can you modify the matrix to act as a quantum translator? Not to join their network, but to show them what humanity really is. Yes, but... Patel hesitated. We'd have to drop our defenses completely. Make ourselves vulnerable. Do it, Chen ordered. Sometimes the best way to win a war is to refuse to fight it. As the alien fleet approached, the Dawnbreaker powered down its weapons. The quantum matrix, still unstable from the Ghost Protocol, was reconfigured to transmit humanity's own story, not just data, but the essence of what made them human. The alien ships surrounded them, their crystalline weapons charged and ready. But instead of attacking, they paused, caught in the stream of quantum information flowing from the Dawnbreaker. They're receiving our transmission, Rodriguez confirmed. Their network is changing. The alien vessels began to pulse with new patterns, their quantum field shifting to match the frequency of human thought and emotion. For the first time, true communication became possible. Through the quantum link, Chen felt their story unfold, a civilization that had achieved immortality at the cost of their physical form, endlessly searching for a way to regain what they had lost. They had seen humanity's quantum research as a threat, fearing another species might make the same mistake they had. But now they saw something else in humanity's quantum echoes, a different path, a balance between technology and organic life that they had never considered possible. The Dawnbreaker's quantum matrix groaned under the strain of maintaining the connection, but Chen held firm. This wasn't just about preventing a war anymore. This was about showing an ancient, lost civilization that there was still hope for them. Commander, Wong's voice was urgent, the matrix is reaching critical levels. We have to end the transmission soon. But before Chen could respond, the alien fleet began to move. Not in attack formation, but in a new pattern, one that mirrored the Dawnbreaker's own quantum signature. They were learning, adapting not to fight, but to understand. And in that moment, Chen realized that the experimental ship had achieved something far greater than military victory. It had become a bridge between two species, each with something vital to teach the other. The question was, could the Dawnbreaker survive long enough to complete this final mission? The Dawnbreaker hung suspended between two realities, the physical world of human experience and the quantum realm of the alien consciousness. Commander Chen watched as crystalline patterns of energy flowed between her ship and the alien fleet, each pulse bringing the two species closer to understanding. Matrix stability at 12%, Rodriguez reported, his voice strained. We're losing containment. Dr. Patel worked furiously at her console, trying to maintain the quantum bridge. The aliens are attempting to help stabilize our matrix, but their methods are incompatible. They don't fully understand organic technology. Chen felt the ship shudder beneath her feet. The Dawnbreaker had been pushed far beyond its design limits, its experimental systems struggling to maintain the delicate connection between two fundamentally different forms of existence. New contacts. Wong's announcement cut through the tension. Earth Defense Fleet just emerged from FTL. They're charging weapons. The tactical display filled with human warships, their weapons locked onto the alien fleet. They had no way of knowing what the Dawnbreaker had discovered, they only saw an experimental ship surrounded by the enemy that had destroyed Epsilon 7. Open a channel, Chen ordered, but static filled the communications array. The quantum interference was blocking all conventional signals. They're moving into attack formation, Rodriguez warned. 2 minutes until weapon range. Chen looked at the streams of quantum data still flowing through her ship. The aliens had shared their full history now, the devastating wars that had driven them to abandon physical form, the centuries of searching for a way to restore what was lost, and finally, their encounter with humanity. They weren't conquerors or destroyers. They were scientists who had gone too far, and now they saw in humanity a chance for redemption. Dr. Patel, Chen turned to the physicist, can we modify the Ghost Protocol? Not to disrupt their network, but to extend it? Patel's eyes widened as she understood. You want to create a quantum bridge between the aliens and the defense fleet? The Matrix would never survive. It doesn't have to survive long, Chen replied. Just long enough to show them the truth. The bridge crew worked with desperate speed as the defense fleet drew closer. The Dawnbreaker's quantum matrix was reconfigured one final time, transforming from a weapon into something entirely new, a lens through which two species could truly see each other. Matrix at 6%, Rodriguez called out. Structural integrity failing. Defense fleet entering weapons range, Wong added. They're preparing to fire. Chen took a deep breath. Execute final protocol. The Dawnbreaker's quantum matrix exploded outward, not with destructive force but with pure information. The ship became a quantum beacon, broadcasting the combined experiences of both species across space. The defense fleet froze as their crews were suddenly immersed in the alien story. At the same time, the alien consciousness experienced something they had forgotten centuries ago, the raw, immediate sensation of human emotion. Warning klaxons blared throughout the Dawnbreaker as its systems began to fail. The hull creaked under impossible stresses as reality itself seemed to bend around the ship. Matrix collapse in 30 seconds, Patel warned. The ship's breaking apart. But Chen smiled as she watched the defense fleet power down their weapons. The alien vessels had begun to change, their crystalline structures flowing into new forms that bridged the gap between quantum and physical existence. They're adapting, she whispered. Both of them. In the final moments before the Dawnbreaker's quantum matrix collapsed, Chen saw the future unfold through the quantum link, humans and aliens working together, each species helping the other avoid the mistakes of the past. The aliens would learn to reclaim their physical form, while humanity would gain understanding of quantum consciousness without losing their organic nature. The Dawnbreaker's experimental systems finally gave out, the quantum bridge collapsing as the ship's overtaxed hull began to break apart. But by then, it had already accomplished its mission. The defense fleet moved in to rescue the crew, while the alien vessels took up protective positions around them. As Chen watched her burning ship drift into darkness, she realized that the Dawnbreaker had lived up to its name in ways its designers had never imagined. It had broken the dawn of a new era, not through superior firepower or advanced technology, but through humanity's greatest strength, the ability to reach across the void and find understanding, even in the darkest of spaces. The experimental ship was lost, but its legacy would live on in the quantum echoes of two civilizations learning to walk a new path together. And in the end, that was a far greater victory than any battle could have achieved.